6 on Your Side at 5 starts now.
My name is Brent Coles, and I'm running for the office of mayor in the city of Boise, Idaho.
In a shocking announcement, former Boise Mayor Brent Coles makes it official. He's running for mayor again. Good evening, I'm Don Nelson. Our big story tonight, Brent Coles is back and wants an office in City Hall. It was a scandal that rocked Boise politics in the early 2000s when Coles resigned as mayor after the Attorney General filed 2 corruption charges against him. Coles was eventually convicted of fraud and misuse of public funds, and now today he joined the mayoral race with a promise to, quote, not ever take the city through that devastation again. 6 on Your Side's McKenna King is live in studio with more.
An email went out early Friday morning, only a single sentence long, stating that former Boise Mayor Brent Coles would make an important announcement about the 2019 Boise mayoral race on the steps of the Boise Depot. With his wife by his side, Coles said he wants to cut taxes, freeze the city budget, and will stop tearing down and moving buildings.
I want to apologize to my family, to my wife, for putting them through some really tough times over the last 16 years. I also apologize to the people of Boise for putting them through the turmoil that ensued.
Turmoil that rocked the city. Brent Coles resigned after serving as Boise mayor for nearly 10 years when the Idaho Attorney General filed 2 corruption charges against him.
These were serious charges, and I took full responsibility. My resignation from the office I had held for 10 years was absolutely devastating to myself, my family, and our community.
A 4th district judge later charged Coles with 2 felonies and 1 count of fraud. In that ruling, the judge granted Coles a withheld judgment, meaning his record could be cleared if he completed all terms of his probation.
The devastation that I went through, I would never want to go through again. I wouldn't ever take the city through that devastation again, or my family.
Those charges were dropped in 2007. Coles was cleared of his record and his civil rights were restored.
It's a hard lesson, but it's a lesson that's ingrained in my soul.
Now, Coles says he is joining the Boise mayoral race again.
Voters are going to be skeptical. They're going to want to see what I'm saying, and an important part of it is, do they believe in the policy? Do they want to change in policy? And will they look beyond what I did when I left office and look at the 20 years of service prior to that time?
Coles says the 3 reasons behind his renewed candidacy are tax and spend policies in City Hall.
The current administration, it doesn't seem that they can see that their tax and spend policies are increasing the taxes that people are paying within our city, and that causes homelessness.
As well as division over the proposed library changes and soaring property taxes in Boise.
Instead of $11 million on an architect, taxes paid by the people of this good city, let's take that money and let's use it for a bus system that the people in Boise ride for free.
Coles says his main goals are to stop gentrification, freeze the city's budget at 2018 levels, and to take the cash for the library to fund additional police and fire departments. Coles is considered a Republican, although the office of the mayor is officially nonpartisan. The mayoral race is scheduled for November 5th of this year. Live in studio, McKenna King, 6 on Your Side.
So let's take a look back. Brent Coles was appointed mayor in early 1993 by the city council when then mayor Dirk Kempthorne resigned after winning a U.S. Senate race. In November of that year, Coles was elected his first full term, beating Tracy Andrus, the daughter of Governor Cecil Andrus. Coles took over the city that was in transition of a new urban renewal. In 1997, Brent Coles was reelected. He became president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors in 2000 and elected for a 3rd term the following year. Then, in 2002, he and his wife received air travel, hotel, and admissions to the 2002 Winter Games in Salt Lake City. But a year later, in 2003, things turned sour for the popular mayor when officials investigated him and his aides.
I'm here this morning to announce my resignation as mayor of this great city.
After that surprising announcement, Coles was charged with 2 misdemeanors for that trip to Utah. 3 months later, in May of 2003, Coles was charged with 5 felonies stemming from a trip with city leaders to New York City. In November of that year, Coles said this in court after pleading guilty to 2 of the felonies.
Sir, it's an opportunity for me to move on with my life. I'm in training. I've begun new employment. I think for my family and for myself, to be able to move forward and with the best possible light, set this behind us is what we would like to do.
Coles pleaded guilty under what is called an Alford plea, which allows someone to plead guilty while maintaining their innocence. He served 4 weeks of a 180-day sentence, but spent 3 years on probation. A lot of people have moved to Boise since then who know very little, if anything, about this scandal or Brent Coles. Will it help or hurt him for his re-election or for his election effort this time around? We asked our political consultant, College of Idaho political science professor Jasper Licalzi.
Brent Coles needs people to remember or be told about the successes he had as mayor and not remember or not be told about why he had to resign from being mayor.
Licalzi expects a traditionally low turnout for the November 5th election, but that could change as the competition heats up. In Licalzi's words, Coles has a very slim chance of regaining the mayor's office, but that too could change.
The only chance Brent Coles can have is that there's not one dominant candidate out there. You have at least 2 candidates going to split the vote, but then there's some more other candidates who are running there. That low enough turnout, split from enough people, hey, he slips in.
Today was the final day candidates could file. Coles joins a crowded field hoping to become Boise's next mayor, though notable he is not the only challenger to Mayor Beater, who announced their candidacy today. Both Coles and ACHD Commission President Rebecca Arnold filed paperwork to run for mayor today. Arnold has been commissioner since 2004. Coles and Arnold joined 3 candidates who haven't been elected to office before: Wayne Ritchie, a Boise auto body technician; Courtney Nielsen, a sales and merchandising professional; and Adriel Martinez, who works at FedEx at the Boise airport. All 5 of these candidates will challenge 2 others who have current roles with the city. Boise City Council President Lauren McLean was appointed to the council in 2011 by Mayor Beater and won her re-election in 2015. And finally, sitting Mayor Dave Beater has won re-election 3 times. The Beater for Boise campaign wasted no time commenting on Brent Coles' 2019 mayoral run. The campaign made note that Boise is a much bigger city than when Coles left office, and a lot of time has passed, saying, quote, "Not many people remember where Boise was before Mayor Beater took office. A disgraced mayor left as a criminal, and Boiseans had little trust in their city government. Under Mayor Beater's leadership, we've moved past those times and made amazing progress as a city," end quote. City Council President Lauren McLean made a statement saying her mission is unchanged and she is staying in the race. McLean says she's, quote, "spent her whole career helping people engage with their elected leaders and treasures the democratic process." She says her focus is moving beyond the same politics of the past, listening to what people need now, while working on a Boise future that includes everyone. With 7 people vying for the seat of mayor, there's an increased likelihood that nobody earns the necessary majority of votes to become mayor. If that happens, the 2 candidates with the most votes will compete in a runoff election within 30 days of Election Day, November 5th. The winner of that runoff will be elected mayor. For the latest developments and for more of our in-depth coverage of the mayoral race and Coles' announcement today, head to our website at 6onyourside.com.